Hello, everyone. Today I'm joined by Sascha Giese, the global technical evangelist at SolarWinds, to unravel key insights into database security, AI integration, and thriving in the age of digital transformation. Hi, Sascha. Thank you for joining us again.
Thank you for having me. Hi there.
It's our pleasure. So, Sascha, the Middle East has been a prime target for bad actors since there is potential for an increase in cyber attacks given the current turmoil in the region. What can businesses do to protect their database servers against such attacks?
Yeah, so it's an unfortunate reality that cyber attacks increase in the Middle East. I think I recently read a statistics that as of right now, the UK is still the country number one with the most attacks, but the Middle East is is coming close. So the good thing is you usually don't have a database open to the internet, okay? If you do, then you probably deserve to be hacked. Sorry, but that's what it is, okay? But what could possibly happen is known things like SQL injections. So someone is hijacking like a proxy application and just sends additional queries to the database. And if that is not exactly secured, it can overload the DB or even do other things. But usually, before something with the database happens, there's loads of other parts of the application stack in front of it. So we're talking about applications, probably a proxy, about good old firewalls, whatever. So there isn't too much of a risk. I think the most obvious one is to make sure that permissions sit right. So whatever application talks to the database has just the permissions they need and not anything crazy, as that could easily be abused. I would say that is the most obvious one.
All right, so thank you for that. So, what are the best practices to earmark which databases are best for cloud migration or which is better for on-prem? And how can IT teams overcome the complexities of managing their database across hybrid environments?
It is actually always a good idea to check what database would fit into the cloud and what is better on-prem. There's a couple of challenges. For example, you need to make sure what kind of data are you dealing with. Is it highly confidential? Is it for a government, for example, is it citizens' data, and things like that? You probably want to have the data sovereignty. So you want to have it somewhere in your own premises and don't put it in a cloud. Another case is when you have a decentralized application with many individual elements, you don't need, you want a short latency when talking to a database. And if stuff's being sent to the cloud first, that is not exactly short latency. So not each workload is able is a good candidate to put it in the cloud, but it's a case-by-case decision. And to the other part of your question, what can a business do? Well, they need to observe metrics for a long time. So they can create baselines, they have good understanding of what are the requirements onto my database, so what's coming in, what's going out, how fast is it responding, because I hear this quite often from customers. Databases in the cloud are not exactly cheap, and some organizations underestimate the costs that come up with databases in the cloud. So that is really something IT teams should use proper tool set to get an understanding before they do such a migration.
All right, so enterprise data will be key to training and running LLMs and creating truly customized and impactful generative AI capabilities. Can you tell us about the often overlooked role of databases in AI?
There's a really simple one. How do we access data these days? We have either database administrators or data analysts or data professionals, whatever you want to call them. So people who are actually able to write queries. But that is a time-consuming job, and usually you don't have too many of such skilled employees in an environment. So what do? There's people like you and I who use tools where we could create reports, whatever. There's stuff like Tableau, Crystal, loads of applications. some of them are easy to use, others not so much. Now imagine we have an AI, a generative AI or LLM, as you mentioned. With the support of that, we could just ask for the data that we want. So imagine there's like a quarterly business result meeting where all the C-levels of an organization meet, and they discuss strategy, discuss numbers, and something is missing. And if they just could go like, hello AI, give me the results of the last 3 months in Texas, whatever, right? Stuff like that.
Yeah.
So they could just ask and get the data
Results,
in pretty
yeah.
much real time. That is a very good use case. And I think it's something that we're going to see in the
near future. All right. And are there any new database security risks or challenges raised by the rollout of AI in the enterprise?
Pretty much exactly the opposite of what I just said. So when we usually deploy an application, we test it in an organization before we deploy it. We test if it works with our environment, if there's any compatibility problems, if our users can deal with it. If we use an AI, we can't really test each small part of it, and it might behave irrationally on occasion, because it just wasn't trained for a specific situation. And considering that in the example which we just had, the AI system would have a good portion of access rights on a database, that could possibly be a risk. So it's unpredictable behavior, I would say.
Okay, yeah, that is really strange. But finally, what are the must-have skills and tools, according to you, that database teams need to thrive in an ever-evolving data volumes era and IT complexities and pressures to do more with less? So what do you think are the must-have skills and tools?
To do more with less, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's a reality. We look at shrinking headcounts in IT, maybe the budgets shrink too, that could be an option. And on the other hand, it gets more and more complex, more layers. We talked about some multi-cloud organizations, whatever. But, for me, it always comes to people. At the end, there's people. And if you are a database administrator, you can't deal with the situation with situations on your own all the time anymore. But there's a broader team in IT. There's people, and communication is a skill that is really needed. There's a concept called data ops. It's like DevOps for data, if you want. But it basically involves different specialities coming together. And in this case, we work with data and bring developers into it, bring architects to it. So teamwork is a very important part of this, often overlooked because everyone thinks I'm sitting alone in my room like here, but no, there's a whole team. And obviously, the other set is proper tools. So you need to work with proper tools who understand your data, or now let me phrase this in a different way, to help you better understand your data, so you can make educated decisions and deal with situations when they occur. So humans and tools, that would be it.
Yes, perfect. Thank you so much, Sascha. It was really great speaking with you, and we hope to see you again soon here. And
I'm sure we will meet again. Thank you.